Hi, and welcome to the Bryan Marketing Group podcast. I'm Trish, the producer here at the Bryan Marketing Group. And today we're talking to Tim Simpson, one of Florida's premier real estate consultants. Hi, Tim.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Super excited to talk to you today.
All right. I'm excited to be here.
Great. So, Tim, what got you into real estate?
Passion for design, construction, and finding housing to help people out find their dream home. It's definitely a passion to see something from the ground up being built and turned into these modern masterpieces, and then also helping people find their dream home. It's a passion of mine as well because it's very rewarding at the end of the day.
Yeah, you seem to really love to help people. And so, have you really enjoyed doing the smaller homes or the larger homes?
In particular, every home has its differences. So there's no desire to go either way because it's just the passion behind knowing that you're helping someone collectively go through the process and find their dream home at the end of the day.
Okay, that's great. So, real estate has been booming. Have you seen a decline or is it pretty steady?
Real estate, it's like anything, it's up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's more of a market right now that's just kind of been leveled off, and we've kind of hit our peak with last year's boom, and now it's coming down, and it's more of a healthy market. So the amount of buyers, the amount of sellers that are in the market, it's more production and less craziness per se, and people are actually able to negotiate now, which is really good. Sellers are becoming more aware of today's market, and they're putting the past behind them and putting last year's market behind them, which is good because now we can move forward and get back to real estate, really.
Yeah, I agree. So there's a lot of new construction going on around me. Now, does that help or hinder kind of your job?
If anything, it helps because I mean we're behind in inventory, and that's why you're seeing a lot of the new construction, and almost predominantly every area in South Florida has some type of new construction. I mean these bigger builders, they're buying up every last little piece of land they can possibly find, and they're building homes on it. I mean one community in Green Acres, they bought a tract of land that produced 20 homes. So I mean that's like no homes at the end of the day, but with them buying every last remaining piece of land in South Florida that they can find to buy in. I mean, that's what these guys are doing. So we're so far behind in inventory, and the amount of people that are looking to buy homes. That's why all these builders are trying to catch up, and you're seeing a ton of new construction. And I mean, who wouldn't want to live in paradise?
Exactly. So, where is the biggest, I guess you would say, where do people come from the most?
A lot of Northeast, Canadian buyers as well. Now that kind of we've come out of 2020, 2021, especially with the Canadian buyers having kind of those restrictive borders, you're seeing a lot more Canadian buyers now like you have in the past, because a lot of Canadian buyers come down here seasonally, and there was some restrictions last year with the Canadian U.S. borders and some strict laws that the Canadian government had against them getting out of the country. So now that they've kind of dropped a lot of those restrictions, you're seeing a lot more influx of Canadian buyers. I'm working with a few different Canadian buyers right now, and you're seeing a lot more influx of those. Still, the Northeast is strong as ever with coming down here, and they also do it seasonally as well. Some are retiring down here that I'm working with. So that's predominantly where it's coming from. But of course, you get your mix from all over the United States that people want to find their perfect home down here in South Florida. But mostly like Northeast, New Jersey, New York, Boston. Then Palm Beach Island being a huge influx for luxury with the Hamptons, Cape Cod, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, Greenwich, up in Connecticut. So there's a big draw for that with the luxury market. So mostly that northeastern seaboard is our kind of melting pot.
Okay, yeah. So I heard a rumor. Palm Beach Island currently has no homes for sale. Is there any truth in that?
There's always homes for sale, whether you see them on the market or not. There's always homes for sale because uh, for the right price, anyone's going to sell their home. Because at the end of the day, it's a business decision, and all strictly comes down to business. And it's a smart business decision to make when you have an offer presented to you. So you might not always see a home on the market for sale, but I mean, every home has its price at the end of the day.
So are you kind of like the secret guy? Like, okay, so I want to buy a home on Palm Beach Island. Tim, can you find me one?
Of course, if you knock on the right amount of doors or rub shoulders with the right people, I mean, you can find a home anywhere for the right price, especially if you have deep pockets.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you find so knocking you physically knock on people's doors if someone says they want a home?
I mean, there's almost a million and one ways to conduct your business in real estate. I mean, that's one of them. It's called door knocking. I mean, it's not exactly your most glamorous part of the job, but yeah, I mean, that's one way to get not only yourself out in the community, but people knowing and realizing who you are, not just maybe a voice behind a phone or a hand behind a handwritten note that you might have sent to them in the past. You're actually putting a face to all that stuff that you've been doing, that you've been laying the groundwork for. So now they're seeing you. So it gives that face-to-face interaction, and some people do business better like that with the face. I mean, I know I do. It's all about the relationship that you build with people, and I feel like you can build a better relationship being face to face. But then there's other people that they just build a relationship over the phone or through other means of social networking and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many different ways to conduct your business. That's just one small part of it.
Okay, I did not know that about you. One thing I do know about you is you're good at networking and you rub shoulders with some pretty like high up there real estate agents.
Yeah, I try to mix and mingle with affluent people because I mean, at the end of the day, that's where I want to be. I want to be with all those affluent people where I'm able to do some of the same things they're doing. I'm striving to grow my business. I mean, it's not as glamorous as you see on social media. I mean, there's some sweat equity that you have to put into your business. There's some grind work. There's some hustling that you have to do that a lot of basically the normal citizen doesn't see. They only see the glitz and glamour on social media. A lot of these agents, they're not going to show the grit, the grind work, the sweat, the blood, sweat, and tears that you actually put into the business. So a lot of people don't know what it takes to actually be a successful real estate agent. I was definitely not. I probably didn't start becoming successful until these last couple of years, really. First couple of years in real estate were tough. I mean, and a lot of people don't know that. I mean, that's why the statistic of, I think it's like 85% of real estate agents go out of the business in the first 2 years because it's a grind. It's a hustle. And when everyone thinks it's all glitz and glamorous until they get into it and they have to put their feet and the hands to the pavement and actually start crawling it out and start really getting into the mix of things. They don't understand it, and that's why a lot of these agents go out of the business. And you'll start to see that now because last year was so easy to sell real estate. I mean, so many people got their license over the pandemic, and it was houses flying off the shelf. It was so easy. Like you didn't even have to advertise. You didn't have to do anything to sell a house. Now you actually have to put the work in to sell a house. And a lot of those agents that were fresh in the business this past year or two, that they don't know how to do that. And you'll see a lot of them go out of the business, which it's unfortunate for them, but better for me because, I mean, me being a professional agent, I know how to conduct myself and I know how to shift and adjust with each and every market. And I'm actually welcoming this new market. So I'm kind of excited for 2023 now.
Yeah, you have a very positive attitude, so you're going to welcome some great things into your life.
Lots of good things going on.
Yeah. So speaking of great things, I know you like to do open houses and really show the buyers, showcase your homes to the buyers. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so on the listing side, with the open houses, it's a great chance for the public eye, any of those window shoppers, nosy neighbors, anyone in and around that listing who wants to come check out a house in the area that they're possibly looking at, or maybe wants to see what the competition looks like. That open house gives them availability for anybody in the general public to come out and check out your listing. And that gives, again, that's another way to conduct your business with the open houses. And you get to interact with all the people coming into the house, and you get to showcase not only yourself and your business, but the listings that you're presenting to sell, working with the seller.
Okay, so it's a good opportunity for people to really see the home, see if they like the area, the neighbors.
Yeah, and then you can tell them all the helpful information, especially in the areas that families might be looking for, like a good school area. You could tell them if it's a good school area, what the graded schools are for, depending on how old their kids are, whether it's elementary, middle, or high school. And that's one of the main concerns for families coming in. So knowing the area and what the area offers is essential to the open house as well, because you have to deliver all the necessary information so they can kind of take that back and really contemplate whether this area is right for them, and kind of weigh their different options.
You're very helpful in your, way that you sell to people. Do you have any tips or helpful hints for home buyers?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I pride myself on working with the home buyers, because especially the ones that I've worked with on relocation, because I've lived in the area my entire life. I'm a South Florida native, and being a Floridian, I know Palm Beach County like the back of my hand. South Florida, I've grown up here, so I know the area very well. So depending on what they're looking for, or what they do for hobbies, or if they have a family, kind of really getting into who they are, and what they do for a living, and really asking the right questions. Uh, Almost allow the realtor that you are working with to ask those questions, because those questions are necessary. Um, if I'm not asking you enough questions, then I can't find you the perfect home. So really allowing a realtor to kind of get into your business, and really understand who you are as a person, and whether you have a family, what your likes and dislikes are, and what you're looking for in a home, and what you're looking for in an area. I'm able to kind of dissect that, and going through this with the home buyer, I can find them the perfect location, the perfect home, the perfect spot for if they're having a family, with the school area, or whether they like to be next to a certain restaurant, or like, just for an example, this one buyer I'm working with, they like this new gym that just popped up in Boca Raton and Palm Beach Gardens. This new gym that they want to be next to, and they want to fly into here. They want to use it as a seasonal home, and they want to be not far from the airport, not far from the gym. So I mean, these are all essential to really working with a home buyer. So if you're able to kind of let your realtor kind of dissect into that, and get to know you on a more personal level, you'll allow that professional to be the professional at the end of the day.
Okay, so yeah, you really have to get to know people, their likes and their dislikes, to find them their perfect dream home.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not just about how many bedrooms and baths you want. It's more than that. It's because there's more to a home. I mean, if you look at the greater picture, there's a lot more to it. So allowing myself or another professional that you might be working with to really get into that, we can help you find the perfect home, and let us be the professional at the end of the day, and let us do all the hard work.
Okay, so what's the most ridiculous request you think that you've ever had?
I mean, some things are just unattainable, and you try to let them recognize that, but I mean, you almost have to show them, because a lot of times a buyer might not know. I mean, you can only tell them, but if they're not kind of understanding that, then you can kind of, hey, show them this is what it is. Ridiculous request. I mean, I don't even know, because I mean, I feel like I get a lot of them.
You're like going through your memory bank. Okay, what's the first one that pops up?
Something that doesn't exist. Probably the most recent one I'm looking for right now. Like a Canadian buyer, he wants a penthouse in the Palm Beach County area, but he wants something that doesn't exist on the aspect of a lot of these buildings on Palm Beach Island of where he wants to be on the ocean. They're built almost right on top of each other because they're built in the 1980s. He wants the ocean like peripheral view per se, and the buildings are like too close to him. So I'm trying to get him to understand that a lot of these buildings are kind of built right next to each other, and you're not going to exactly get that kind of wide angle peripheral view per se. So I'm trying to convince him to go further south, where you get into those taller buildings like in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. We're trying to get him to go down there. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to go down there, but that's kind of what he's looking for. So to kind of work with the buyer and make them understand what is available and what isn't available for what he's looking for. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to get the perfect home. You have to weigh your pros and cons and what's more important to you when purchasing that home. You're not going to find everything. You can check most of the boxes, but not all the boxes are going to be checked unless you build it yourself. And for him, I mean, I have a lot of the boxes checked off. That one in particular, I'm going to keep working. I mean, because that's what we do. I mean, we can only do so much, but we're going to do everything we possibly can at the end of the day to find you the perfect home, because I mean, that's our job. That's what we're paid to do.
Okay, so Tim, you help everyone find their perfect dream home. Where can they find you?
Lots of places. I'm social. TMS Realtor is pretty much my tag for everything. It's my initials, Timothy Michael Simpson Jr. So TMS Realtor on the Instagram, TMS Realtor on TikTok, TMS Realtor on Twitter, TMS Realtor on Facebook. I'm almost everywhere. You can look at my Google business page, Tim Simpson Realtor. I also have a great platform where you guys can start previewing homes if you are in the market. It's called Homes for Sale South Florida. Homes for Sale South Florida. That's my platform. If you guys want to start previewing homes and kind of get the process going, you can log into my website, and you're almost instantaneous. You plug in a little bit of your information, and you can start looking at homes in your price range and the location you want to be. And then I'll start interacting with you, because I'll have your information on my website, and I can reach out to you, and we can start the whole home buying process, and we can continue that home journey together.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Tim.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And one last thing, all my information too can be found. Tim Simpson, Century 21 Tennis Realty, working out of the Boynton Beach office. We do have 4 locations, so I can counteract that to any one of our 4 locations to help you find the perfect home in Boynton Beach. I'm sorry, in South Florida. My office is in Boynton Beach. We have offices in Coral Springs, right next door here in Jupiter to the Bryan Marketing Group. And also we just opened another location in Port St. Lucie, Tim Simpson, Century 21 Tennis Realty.
That's great. You're all over the place.
Yeah.
Helping people all over the place.
Come find me.
Well, speaking of finding, check us out on bryanpodcast.com. Also, give us a like and follow on Bryan Podcast on Facebook.